Joining us now is the chairman of the Republican National Committee, Reince Priebus. Reince, thanks very much for joining us. I think this is your first television interview since the FBI's dramatic announcement today. What's your reaction to what the FBI Director James Comey said, that he will not recommend charges against Hillary Clinton be filed?
Well, I mean, as a lawyer, I was listening to his description of what was happening, and I thought for sure the way he was working through the description that at least a gross negligence charge would either be recommended or very clear by the evidence. I think it's clearly gross negligence. I don't know how it's not gross negligence. And I also think it's curious that he had said there's no cases of people like this being charged when, you know, I've got case after case after case of soldiers in many cases being charged for far less than Hillary, being dishonorably discharged, being fined, being sentenced. I think that it was a very curious decision and something that it was a real head scratcher, and I think it's going to indict Hillary for being dishonest. She was clearly lying when she said that she turned over all the emails. That was a lie. She lied when she said that nothing was marked classified. That was a lie. And so, look, she said that the emails weren't classified. That was a lie. So at every step, and there's stories out there all over the place categorizing this, Hillary Clinton lied about something that was very basic, and no person in America that's listening to this knows that if you did this in your job, would you be fired or would you be promoted?
But Reince, you're a lawyer.
Most people would be fired.
You're a lawyer. You heard the FBI director, a former U.S. attorney, a former deputy attorney general during the Bush administration say you have to prove intent, that there was criminal intent. They didn't have that evidence. Your reaction?
No, you don't have to prove intent. If you read the statute, Wolf, you do not have to prove intent. It says, in fact, uses the words gross negligence or intentional conduct. And gross negligence is, by its very definition, highly unreasonable conduct taken in a situation where there's a high degree of risk. This was highly unreasonable conduct. He didn't just say that she was careless. He said that she was extremely careless with national security.
So have you lost confidence?
What does that
mean? Have you lost confidence in the FBI Director James Comey?
Well, I certainly don't understand how you describe a textbook definition of gross negligence, and you have case after case after case of soldiers and other military personnel being kicked out of the military, fined and sentenced for things that were far less egregious than what Hillary Clinton did. First of all, it's not going to go away. In fact, I think in many ways this is going to be even worse for Hillary Clinton, because what's being talked about now is just sort of the inconsistencies, I think, in the system. And when Donald Trump said it's a rigged system, I heard some people were critical of that. Well, what is it then?
So do you agree? Well, let me interrupt, Reince. Do you agree with Donald Trump that the system is rigged?
Well, look, I certainly appears as that way, Wolf, because if you look at the case after case after case of military personnel being discharged, dishonorably discharged, fined, sentenced for things that were far less. What is it about Hillary Clinton? Why does she get away with these things? Why did Bill Clinton get on that plane with Loretta Lynch? What was discussed? What about the transcript? Maybe perhaps Comey or Hillary Clinton should release the transcript of her interview that she had with the FBI over the weekend. It would be very, you know, if she's so innocent, it would be great to see what that transcript has to say.
But basically what you're suggesting is that what Donald Trump was clearly implying, that there's some sort of conspiracy out there, that the meeting that the Bill Clinton had with Loretta Lynch, the Attorney General, and the testimony by Hillary Clinton, the 3.5-hour interview she had with the FBI, that all of a sudden today is announcing this decision. Do you believe there's some sort of conspiracy?
I don't know, Wolf. I don't know what you call it. But what I look at, and I think what a lot of people are looking at, is an FBI director that came out and for about 12 minutes described a textbook definition of gross negligence, which is what the statute which would trigger the statute. It's in the statute. He described gross negligence and then recommended no charge. Now, if he would have come out and said, the opposite of those things. In fact, there was no classified email. In fact, that she was telling the truth about all of these things, and then said, and therefore, you know what, there was no intent, there's really not even kind of gross negligence here, and therefore there's no charge. But he didn't do that. So no one can figure this out right now, how you define gross negligence on one hand as a lawyer, and then you don't recommend it, while there are other folks that have been charged and are being charged for far less conduct, without intent. Some of these cases have no intent, and they've been charged under the same, for the conduct
All right.
similar.
Let me get your
It doesn't make any sense, Wolf.
a quick reaction. Paul Ryan, the Speaker of the House, referred to it today. I want to talk about Donald Trump. The campaign released, as you know, that tweet showing a 6-point star resembling the Star of David. They later corrected it, deleted that tweet. They put a circle up there instead. Listen to what the accusations were, that this was an anti-Semitic tweet, if you will. Paul Ryan, your fellow Wisconsinite, he condemned the use of the image today in an interview. Let me play the clip because I want to get your reaction to what Ryan said.
I really believe he's got to clean up the way his new media works. But most importantly, as you know, this is one of the few times I spoke out against him during the primary very forcefully was in this area when he failed to disavow white supremacists. And so, look, I think it's really, really clear. The point is, I think he's got to clean this up.
Are you agree with the Speaker?
Well, I think they did. I mean, they did. I mean, the guy that did this tweet talked about it. He went through every step of how he picked out the star from Microsoft. I think it's called Microsoft Paint, and picked out the star. Realized